The New England Patriots will not win Super Bowl 54. I'm calling it now. Tom Brady will not get his seventh ring this year. Now, let's start off, okay? I just want to acknowledge what the Patriots have accomplished because this is a dynasty that just their success has been unprecedented, okay? 6 championships from 2002 to 2019. Unbelievable, all right? They've got the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady and the greatest coach of all time in Bill Belichick. And those are two unbelievable figures in the realm of sports. But at the same time, this season, people are just giving the Pats way too much credit. They're giving them the benefit of the doubt and assuming that because they win so often and they've won so much in the past, that they'll be able to win this year too. And I don't see it. So let's start off because at first glance, the Pats look like a team who's competing for the Super Bowl this year. You know, they have the number one defense in the NFL in terms of points allowed. All right, they have also the number one defense in the NFL in yards allowed, and their offense is the 8th best in the league in terms of points per game. But at the same time, their schedule has been so weak, just unbelievably weak. The Patriots are 10-3, right? But their 10 wins have come against, I'm going to read you these teams, okay? The Steelers, the Bills, the Redskins, the Giants, the Browns, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and then they beat the Jets twice, and finally the Dolphins. Those teams sport a combined record, all right, of 48-69. That's only 41% winning. And the truth is that I will admit that the Patriots, they crushed those teams. They just blew them out of the water. They beat the Steelers 33-3. They beat the Dolphins 43-0. They've dominated weak teams. But at the same time, there's only one of those teams they could really meet in the playoffs, and that's the Buffalo Bills. And maybe the Dallas Cowboys, but it'd be a stretch to pit the Patriots against the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Okay? Now, the Pats' 3 losses, on the other hand, have come to the 3 other AFC divisional leaders, the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Ravens. So I'm going to read you some of the Patriots' stats from those 3 games. They played at Baltimore, all right? This was their first loss of the season. They lost 37-20. It was a 3-score loss. The Ravens handled them soundly, just beat them. Okay, Tom Brady in that game was 30-46 for 285 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. A very poor outing, all right? The Patriots totaled 74 rushing yards in that game, and Lamar Jackson was 17-23 passing with 3 total touchdowns and no interceptions. And the Ravens, as a team, rushed for 210 yards at 5.1 yards per carry. The Ravens held the ball for 36.5 minutes, and the Patriots only were on offense with the ball for 23 minutes. So the Ravens really dominated the Patriots in every facet of this game. The Patriots couldn't stop the Ravens' rushing attack. Their defense dominated these weak teams. When they played a good team like the Ravens, they were just average. And Tom Brady and the offense couldn't get going against the Baltimore defense. But, Baltimore's probably the best team in the league right now. So losing to them, isn't the end of the world. But then they played the Texans, right, in Houston. And this is a Texans team that, as of today, is 8-5 and lost to the Broncos 38-24. Broncos are 5-8 just this past week. But the week before they got crushed by the Broncos, the Texans beat the Patriots 28-22. And on top of that, the score's closer than the game was. The Texans were leading 28-9 in the fourth quarter. This game was not very close until the Patriots made some garbage time comeback stats. And Tom Brady in this game was 24 of 47 passing. Okay, and in contrast, on the other side of the ball, Deshaun Watson was 18 of 25 with 234 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he actually caught a touchdown from a little pitch from DeAndre Hopkins. So the Pats' defense couldn't really stop Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson, and their offense didn't really get going, or they got going kind of late and put up some garbage time stats. And then this past week, they played the Chiefs at home, okay? The Chiefs are the leaders in the AFC West, and they lost 23-16. Now, I know you guys are going to say this was a very close game, and they lost at the end with a blown call, and I get that. I really do. But at the same time, they were trailing 23-7 in the third quarter. The Patriots defense allowed the Chiefs to score 20 points in the first half alone. And Tom Brady finished this game 19 of 36 passing for 169 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Again, a very unexceptional outing from him. And the truth is, they totally could have scored at the end to tie this up, maybe. But even then, this is a team that they were losing to for most of the game. And at the same time, the Chiefs' defense is terrible, okay? For them to only score 16, maybe 23 if they get that call, that's against the Chiefs' defense. The Chiefs' defense allowed the Titans to score 35 just the other week. Although the Titans are very hot now, but the Chiefs' defense hasn't been able to stop anybody all year long. And so, at the end of the day, when you look at it, the Patriots haven't actually proven that they can beat any of the other divisional leaders in the AFC in the playoffs. In fact, they've proven the opposite. They've proven that all of these other AFC teams who are most likely going to be in the playoffs can beat them and beat them soundly. And so, now, some people will kind of counter this, and they'll say, hey, the Pats have won in the past. They'll just turn it on in the playoffs, all right? Last season, they had some tough losses late in the year. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Pittsburgh. They lost to the Dolphins. All those teams missed the playoffs. They lost to them late, and the Patriots still went on to win the Super Bowl. And that is a valid argument. But last year, the Patriots also had quality wins, okay? The Patriots beat the Texans, the Chiefs, and the Bears last season, all of whom were teams with 10-plus wins who won their division and made the playoffs, okay? So the Patriots, even though they had been upset, have proved that they could beat playoff teams, playoff caliber teams. And this season, you haven't seen it. There's been no evidence from the Patriots that they can beat these caliber of teams. And the Texans, the Chiefs, and the Ravens are most likely the teams that the Patriots will be seeing come January. And on top of them not being able to beat these good teams, the Patriots' offense has just been atrocious all year, okay? Even including all of their games against the really weak opponents that I mentioned before, the Patriots are 23rd in the league in rushing yards per game and 15th in the league in total yards per game. Both very pedestrian numbers. Sony Michel has completely disappeared, okay? This guy was phenomenal last year in the playoffs. He led the entire playoffs in rushing yards, and this year, he's just gone. The truth is that Tom Brady hasn't been good this year either, okay? Brady is completing 60.5% of his passes, okay? And he only has a touchdown to interception ratio of 19-7, which isn't great. It's not terrible, but he's throwing the ball at a measly 6.6 yards per attempt, which is a full yard lower than he was last year. And on top of that, Brady's QBR is lower than Jameis Winston, and his passer rating is lower than Mitchell Trubisky. Okay? You look at the Patriots' offense. Their offensive line is terrible. They can't block anybody. Brady is still good, but he's well past his prime. The run game has completely disappeared, and their receivers are a bunch of busts, undrafted rookies, and old slot receivers. So even though the Patriots are a good team, and they'll definitely make the playoffs this year, don't get me wrong, I just think that this team really hasn't proven that they can beat any of the other playoff caliber teams that they'll see on the path to the Super Bowl. And for those reasons, I have to think that the Patriots will not win the Super Bowl this year.